What is going on, everybody? So I am coming to you with my instant reaction to the Sixers dropping the first game of the second round series versus the Atlanta Hawks 128-124. And I'm going to be reacting and giving you my thoughts on this game and just what happened and why the Sixers lost. But I do want to say one thing. If you're a Sixers fan and you're worried about this series, just based off this one game, you shouldn't be, and I'm going to tell you why. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy sports talk and just sports content in general. I do a lot of Sixers and Eagles stuff over here, so if you're interested in that, please subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So to start off, in the beginning of the game, we didn't really come out. The Sixers didn't really come out with any sense of urgency. Like, they let themselves fall behind really quickly, and they kind of just put themselves in a hole from there. The Hawks hustled the Sixers. The Sixers were sloppy on offense. They turned the ball over a ton. They weren't playing any defense. I think they had like 41 points in the first quarter, did the Hawks. So I certainly don't see that happening again. And they had 74 points at halftime. So that's just one thing to look at. That's like, do you really see the Hawks putting up 74 points again in a half, or that many points again in a half, scoring that easy just in the game against the number 2 ranked defense in the NBA? I don't. I just think that was really self-inflicted, and I think that's something that can be fixed, especially since you saw in the second half, Trae Young had 25 points in the first half, and he only had 10 points in the second half because Doc Rivers made an adjustment to where they continually trapped him. They put Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle more on Trae Young, and it really disrupted him specifically. So that's one thing that I think Doc did a good job on in this game, and they need to continue to do in the future. But one thing I think he did bad in was the full bench lineup, where the Hawks went on like a 17-0 run when the Sixers had their full bench lineup in the game, and then Doc went away from that in the second half again. So he just did that, and I'm assuming you won't see the all bench lineup again because it clearly didn't work, and I think he's realized that you can't really get away with that at this point anymore. So that's just one thing. One of the other reasons why I think we lost this game. And do you really think the Hawks are going to come out and make 23-pointers again? And I think that was their franchise record in a playoff game, 23-pointers made. I definitely don't expect that to come out and happen again. I think they had Bogdanovic with 21, Herter with 15, who was the other? John Collins with 21. Like, I don't expect all this offensive output from all these different players consistently. They put up 128 points, and I really don't expect to see that again consistently. That's another thing I want to talk about. Joel Embiid played really, really well in this game. You could tell he did not want to lose. Like I said, I didn't think this knee injury was going to hurt his game all that much, and I expected him to be close to 100%, which he put up 39 points. So I think I was pretty right assuming that. But now it's just going to be how he manages the pain and keeps getting through the injury in the playoffs and then the series moving forward. But that's just one thing I took away, is Joel Embiid played really, really well. And that's just a good sign moving forward because of his injury. Ben Simmons, I think, played well. But the one thing, again, with Ben Simmons, you have to make your free throws. I think he shot like 30% today from the free throw line. They went to the hack-a-man strategy at the end of the game. And Ben Simmons just needs to make his free throws. Like, you cannot give the opposing team something easy that they can do to help themselves close the game out, and you just can't put your team in that position. You have to be able to knock down the free throws. So that's just another thing that I felt like talking about in this game. And I mean, our bench wasn't really all that great today. Like, Tyrese Maxey didn't have his usual, like he did in the he didn't have his usual impact like he did in games 4 and 5 of the Washington Wizards series. He didn't play all too well. But I expect that to change. There's just a lot of things that went wrong for the Sixers today and went well for the Hawks, which I don't see that is going to keep happening. And again, I mean, they lost by 4 points. The Sixers only lost by 4 points. And I really don't expect to see all this stuff that went Atlanta's way happen again. Like, there's multiple times that I can point out when, you know, the Sixers are going on like a little bit of a tiny run, and then it just, momentum is killed by a call or something like bad that happened with the officials. So that's just one thing I hate, is like the first round, I thought the officials were really, really terrible. And in this game, I don't think they were great either way. So I just hope this, like, we're not watching the game to watch the officials, and I think that's been a big issue this year. But let's just hope that that's not a factor again moving forward in the rest of this series. But there's just a lot of things that I think you can take away. I think you should look positively on this game. Like, we came out terribly. They got up on a 26-point lead. Our defense was terrible. We turned the ball over. They were making every shot they took. They made a huge number of their shots that they took. They went on a huge run where we didn't score for forever, and we came back in the end and made it close, and we lost by 4 points. I think that shows the resiliency of the team, and I just can't wait for game 2, because this is like a really annoying loss. Like, again, I'm not worried after this loss. I think there's things you can do, adjustments you can make to put yourself in a better position, and there's just things that aren't going to go Atlanta's way that went their way today in the future. So I just expect the Sixers to come back and win game 2, and I just can't wait to watch that, because this is going to leave it's just frustrating to have the team that's heavily favored come in and lose the first game in their own building and on their home court. But that is a little bit frustrating, but I do expect the Sixers to bounce back and come back and win this series. I'm sorry if I was all over the place in this video. I just had my instant thoughts, and I had to come record this really quick so I could go to other things. But if you did enjoy the video, please like, subscribe. Again, trying to hit 1,000. I greatly appreciate that. If you want to see some of my other content, that'll be on the screen as well. Sixers in 5 still, if not 5-6. The Sixers are still winning the series. Don't get it twisted. And thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.